Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC and 103.7 FM Santa Fe News Talk Leader. We are recording this live from the front of Artisan on Cerrillos Road, the art supply store, and we have a fantastic show. When I started Art Fusion radio program about a year and a half ago, the whole vision was really combining top level musicians with top level visual artists, and just comparing and just seeing what the fusion of that, really the power of it is. And we have two very top level powerful people. And before we get going and talk about it, we have Kevin Macpherson as our visual artist and Jim Oliver as our musician / composer. And he's going to play a live piece in just a minute, but normally we get into going through all their backgrounds on when Kevin first picked up a paintbrush and all that, but I want to just get into more serious about the healing part of art and music and the light. Kevin has a new book called Conversations with Nature that I read most of it, and it's fantastic. And Jim Oliver is just unbelievable, and I just want to read a little bit about them quickly. Kevin Macpherson is recognized as one of the most accomplished impressionistic plein air painters in the world. He has painted in over 35 countries. His numerous books and workshops have influenced thousands of aspiring artists. His work has been featured in over 75 publications, and he devotes a significant amount of his energy nurturing underprivileged children in Central America and China with his foundation, Art Ambassador for a Colorful World. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jim Oliver is an Emmy Award-winning multi-keyboardist, musician, and composer that is regarded as a pioneer of healing with sound and color. Jim turned his gift from performing with symphonies and being a composer in residence with Robert Redford at the Sundance Institute to developing Harmonies of Light, which is one-of-a-kind lighting system that mathematically relates colors to the music Jim is composing, which is live streamed all over the world to offer an experience of self-healing and self-awareness with high coherence and full integration of your true self. And I have gone out to his studio in El Dorado personally and experienced it, and I couldn't move for about 20 minutes afterwards. Every cell in my body was alive, and it's just an honor to be sitting on the rug with both of you guys.
So nice to be here, Ron. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. And can you start out with, and this is a live improvisational piece. This Jim doesn't play from any music. He composes from the energy in the room. And he's actually on my Roland keyboard. He didn't even bring his own instrument, so this is such an honor to have him play my keyboard. And he's just going to do an improvisational piece. This is the summer solstice today, which is a powerful time. And what do you got, Jim?
Well, for this opening piece, it'll be about 3 or 4 minutes. So I invite everybody to really become relaxed, breathe deeply into the music, allow the music to flow and wash through every aspect of your being. Today, particularly with solstice, is about alignment. For those of us that have had the opportunity to go to Chaco Canyon and experience how alignment of the sun cycles, solar cycles, lunar cycles, influence their life, planting buildings. We understand the power and simplicity all at the same time. So this piece of music is a nice opening into that awareness of being in harmony with nature, being in alignment with your true self. It's all about your own self, being self-empowered, self-realized, self-actualized.
Wow. I hope you weren't driving because you probably pulled over the side of the road. Beautiful. It's always an experience to hear you play the piano, and I think the amazing thing is that you compose it right on the spot. And for people that admire musicians or admire artists that pick up a brush and seem to be able to do it, they don't know all the back hours that have gone into that to be able to do something like that. I mean, you start at 5 or 10 years old and you practice constantly, and same way I'm sure Kevin with reading your book, which is, I have to mention, Conversations with Nature, which is the latest book that you've written. You've written numerous books. How is this, like with a musician, their last CD is usually their favorite CD. Is this, how would you compare this to the other books that you've written?
Yes, definitely. I think it's my favorite, or maybe the most true to the voice. You know, my first book, Fill Your Oil Paintings with Light and Color, I really still feel very proud of it. And it takes a person who's never painted before and it builds them in the right direction. And when I teach over the last 30 years, I continually find different ways to communicate and different ways to get through to my students.
I want you to hold that thought, Kevin, because we're going to be right back. You're listening to Art Fusion, and we're going to just talk with Kevin on this next session about his book and some of his travels and such. It's the Art and Music Radio Show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. Hang on, we're going to be right back.